Hi everyone, we're Saudi, Shnar, Tahir, and Jansaya. Today we're going to look through a topic that's been triggering for a long time. Everything in order. Gender-based violence has been always a great topic to discuss, especially in the 21st century. But let's add a little bit of spice and look through this problem in one specific place, Latin America, Mexico. Violence against women in Mexico includes different forms of gender-based violence. It may consist of emotional, physical, sexual, and mental abuse. The United Nations has rated Mexico as one of the most violent countries for women in the world. According to the National Institute of Statistics and Geography in Mexico, 66.1% of all women ages 15 and older have experienced some kind of violence in their life. 49% have suffered from emotional violence, 29% have suffered from emotional patrimonial violence or discrimination, 34% from physical violence, and 41.3% of women have suffered from sexual violence. Of the women who were assaulted in some form from 2015 till 2018, 93.7% of them did not seek for help or report their attacks to authorities. While legislation and different policies have been put in place to decrease violence against women in Mexico, different organizations have shown that these policies have had little effect on the state of violence due to the lack of proper implementation. And here comes the alternative help. Let us introduce the 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence program that helps women across the whole world.
So what is 16 Days of Activism? The 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence is a new campaign that begins on 25th of November, the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, and runs through International Human Rights Day on 10th of December. This year, the UN marks the 16 days under the theme UNITE, Activism to End Violence Against Women and Girls. Speaking about facts, more than 1 in 3 women experience gender-based violence during their lifetime. More than 5 women or girls are killed every hour by someone in their own family. Less than 40% of women who experience violence seek help of any sort. There is more proof than ever that violence against women and girls is preventable. Evidence shows that the single most important driver of policy change is a strong and autonomous women's movement. The 16 days are encouraging everyone to get involved, from amplifying the voices of survivors and activists to supporting women's organizations and strengthening feminist movements. So how does this work in Mexico? Let's look through examples.
Orange the World. Virtual event in Mexico. UN Women held a virtual event on building access to justice from femicide victims, from representatives of their sisters and mothers, in partnership with UN and YEAN. Spotlight's initiative on the 25th of November. The event honored the memory of the victims of violence against women and girls and represented 5 testimonies from the mothers and sisters from Colombia, Guatemala, and Mexico, who have fought tirelessly in search of the truth and justice. At the meeting, Belén Sanz Lecu, the representative of the UN Women in Mexico, said, "The woman with us is today transformed their grief and pain into cause and motivation, so that one another woman and families do not have to experience the same tragedies." Their efforts, among others, have highlighted femicide in Latin America as a systematic problem and that norms and laws that need to be modified to protect women and ensure sanctification from offenders.
On March 28 of 2022, in honor of International Women's Day and Women's History Month, the Mexico Institute sought to review the state of women's access to healthcare in Mexico, examining recent trends, current conundrums, and upcoming opportunities. The panel of subject matter experts discussed how government, civil society, and private actors can come together to provide healing and promote hope. The National Forum on Femicide, Visions and Solutions was held on October 19, 2022, at the facilities of the Senate of the Republic in Mexico City. The event was broadcasted on the channels of YouTube, Facebook, and television of the Senate of the Republic as part of the Instituto Mexico initiative, Generating Security, Addressing Femicide in Mexico. This forum with the Senate of the Republic aimed to bring together public servants, legislators, civil society organizations, activists, experts, and academics to analyze preventative measures and viable solutions that can be implemented to reduce and eradicate feminicide in Mexico. The statistical panorama of femicide in Mexico, the action protocols, the investigation process, as well as the feminist agenda of the Senate and some case studies were explored in detail. The Mexico Institute hosted a hybrid event on July 14, 2022 to address the root causes of femicide and the policy options available to Mexican legislators to improve the state of security for women in Mexico. In-person audience members had the opportunity to watch an exclusive preview of Javier Tejero and Arturo Saldivar new docu-series Cannibal Indignation Total.